to come and share.
I don't think I got it right last time.
Somebody did it last
Who
time.
did?
Hey, it's on my sweater at least. I know. People are, we can't do live.
Yep. I need somebody else.
Don't need a flashlight to see.
Yeah.
Click on one and then, how did we get the little thingy below? Play.
It
There
takes a
you go.
village.
There you go, there you go, there you go. I know what you see.
Can't be an outdoorsy type and a technology type at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, play, yes. Yeah, that's good enough. Yep. Okay, good evening. Thank you for having us. We are the Alleghany Sparta Trails Association. My name is Igor Paisley, and I think my friends and I have in common that we all love Sparta and we love the outdoors. But personally for me, what I got a little tired of is putting all my kids in the car, going to Galax, to the New River Trail, putting all the bikes on the trailer, you know, with all this nature around here. So I think what we are looking for is to meet, let's say, at Main Street at the coffee shop, have a coffee, and just start walking towards the Veterans Park, start walking towards the Great Smoky Mountains, or even to the Outer Banks from Sparta. We've been meeting for about a year, and we've done a lot of walking, and this slideshow is made by Lou Neckman over there. He is our photographer. And we're here just to share with you what we've been doing, and also to share with you our vision on where we're going, on the health impact this has on Alleghany, the economic impact that it has on Alleghany. First, Donnie McCall is going to talk to you about the health impact.
Hiking, biking, and running have great health benefits. Now, I am a testament to that. Coach Smith knew when I was 125 pounds in high school, and by 2008, I was 205 and diagnosed with some chronic health problems. And through a lot of prayer and lacing up the shoes, I started putting one foot in front of the other. Some on trails like Stone Mountain and the Mountains to Sea Trail, but also on the roads around Alleghany County. And it took some discipline, but I lost 45 pounds within a year, and I've kept it off for over 8. The medicine I was prescribed for the rest of my life was thrown away, and my blood work is better now than it was in my early 30s. Getting outside and spending just a modest amount of time in nature can change your life. Your blood gets pumping, and you just feel better. Even a short hike and being alone in nature can recharge your batteries and remind you that the troubles that seem so big are only molehills. And leaving phones in the car, now this is true, leaving phones in the car and spending time with your family and your son can open up conversations that may never have been broached. And discoveries along trails can spark questions about the flora and fauna. And what is better than standing on a gorgeous vista, breathing in the fresh smell of spring flowers or the musky smell of wet leaves? And with the challenge and beauty that Alleghany County has to offer, we should strive to have trails all over the county. They don't have to be connected, and they don't all have to be county-owned property. There are precedents where private landowners are in favor of providing easements for trails. But that's a little ways down the trail for us from right now. Right now, your support for the Alleghany Sparta Trails Association shows that Alleghany County is serious about the health of the people that live and visit our wonderful community and the economic growth of Alleghany County. I'm now going to turn this over to Lou Nachman to speak about some history and the economic impact.
Good
Good evening.
I will just concentrate a little bit on the history of where the trail idea came from. And a lot of this borrows from Elkin. On July 4th, 1911, the beginning of a quest to link Elkin, North Carolina to Sparta, North Carolina by rail began with the opening of the Elkin and Alleghany Railroad. An attempt to scale the Blue Ridge escarpment to Roaring Gap, which ultimately failed due to the opening of US 21 in the 1920s. The lure of virgin hardwood forests surrounding Alleghany County today have the same powerful allure in a vision connecting Sparta, Bullhead Mountain, the Blue Ridge Parkway, Mahogany Rock, the Mountains to Sea Trail, Stone Mountain State Park, and ultimately the Elkin Trail System. And just as a sidebar, the Carolina Thread Trail, which is going around Charlotte, Gaston County, and working its way up to the Hickory area, ultimately can start working too. So eventually, it will be a huge system. You know, it's a long-term vision though. The Alleghany Sparta Trail Association, or ASTA, ASTA, has been formed to determine how to build a trail system or a greenway beginning at Veterans Park to reach Bullhead Mountain, the Blue Ridge Parkway, and the existing trails down to Stone Mountain State Park. And again, we have talked to lots of, especially DOT, and with the bypass going on, we'll be able to tell you at a later time, as we've already talked with DOT and working with them on this project, and they have been very, very enthusiastic about this, as has the state park system as well. Our ultimate goal is to expose the beauty and expand the commerce within Sparta and Alleghany County to visitors who now visit virtually every county surrounding us. Whether it's Surrey, Mount Airy proper, all the cyclists and hikers we see down there, and of course you know about Galax with New River Park Trail. You've got Ashe County with theirs, and Boone opening a new one, and of course Elkin just spending $400,000 on one bridge. And very successful with businesses, cabins, etc., opening up along that trail. We want to expose Sparta and Alleghany County to visitors who now visit those counties for hiking, cycling, paddling, climbing, room accommodations, and other forms of recreation which are unnatural here. As we open up our county to more accessibility with the trail system, it will also allow more economic advances for our local businesses and outdoor communities. Currently, the Mountains to Sea Trail runs through a portion of Alleghany County with thousands of hikers each year. But because there is no trail access into Sparta, most hikers go down Stone Mountain State Park and on towards Elkin. We would like to give these hikers the opportunity to experience more of Alleghany County so that they will come back to Sparta as a destination of choice. Okay? By the way, this is less than optimum. I can send you the email with everything that's captioned on all of these photographs showing the trail starting at Veterans Park and progressing through the DOT bypass and as it's projected. And I'd like to pass it along. Thank you.
So I would like to talk a little bit about where the trail is going to go. So we think that the Veterans Park is a great trailhead with the parking. And for you who have been in Elkin, we're kind of following their model. They have the same kind of park. From there, they have a real greenway that you can go with a stroller, you can go hiking, running. It's a real greenway. So we're looking at that stretch that is next to the bypass. And the DOT owns that land up to the Bledsoe Creek. So we had a great meeting with them spring last year in Wilkesboro. And they kind of gave us the green light, but we have to wait until the bypass is finished, not to get any of their permits in trouble. So, you know, that's what we're doing. We're waiting. We have hiked it, and it's incredible in there. It's beautiful. It's a real nature trail. You come out by the little river, and then at some point we're going to have to make a bridge. So there's been contact with Jonathan Hartzell of the Blue Ridge RDNC that they can help us with that. You know, that's a big project, but not impossible. So from then on, once we go over the little river, it would turn into like a more hiking trail. And you all have a map, I think, and on there, if you see in yellow, is a corridor. And this is what we learned from the Elkin people, that's how they do their trails. They make a corridor with where they want to end up. So we would like to end up at the Mountains to Sea Trail at Parkway. But how we get there can be many ways. It all depends on, you know, who would let us go over their lands and how we're going to do that. So that's why you give yourself that corridor. And so basically from the Little River, we want to go towards Bullhead. And Gabi is going to talk more about it.
Good evening, my name is Gabi Carter, and I would like to talk about the trail section from Mountain to Sea Trail to the Bullhead. At the end of the Sparta Trail is a connection point from the Mountain to Sea, which continues down the Stone Mountain. The North Carolina Mountain to Sea Trail stretches 1,150 miles from Great Smoky Mountains to Outer Banks. At this connection point, Sparta Trail and Mountain to Sea, the Mountain to Sea group will build 2 campsites. And there is an existing little creek there which provides drinking water. That means if the Sparta Trail would be in place, you could hike from Sparta to Mountain to Sea, camp, and hike next day back to Sparta. And you have the camping place there. From this connection spot, going direction to Sparta, there is an existing dirt road for about a half mile to Mahogany Rock Road. And a little cute side trail slinks parallel to Mahogany Rock Road. And on that trail there was a former garbage dump. And in a community effort, ASTA, with Louis Lachmann, Roy Kraus, Trish Gable, and me, and Jason Taylor, support from Elkin, EFTA, the Elkin Trail Association, we had last summer a cleanup day. With buckets, wheelbars, shovels, we cleaned about a 3/4 dump truck load of garbage out of there. It was a lot of broken glass, which was a fire hazard with the sun and a dry leaf. Also, we removed even car parts, bigger car parts was laying around there. We really got our hands dirty, and we was proud to that environment effort. The trail will continue on Mahogany Rock Road and meet the parkway at the milepost 234. Crossing the parkway, going up to the Bullhead Mountain, which is belongs to Stone Mountain Park, the trail will meet an existing roadbed on the top. You can see from Bullhead Mountain in spring, fall, and winter, even the Stone Mountain. Following that roadbed down a hill to the saddle between the 2 hills, the trail will turn left to Sparta. Thank you very much, and I put it for.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we just wanted to let you know where we're at. Our next step would be working on becoming a non-profit and also getting insurance. As soon as we go out there with shovels, we need to have insurance. So we had one fundraiser, Build a Trail Day on October 8th. And it was really great. It was more like informational tables with different, Stone Mountain and from Elkin, and it was a lot of networking. So, and we made some money towards that. We are also working towards membership, that people, want to be on a newsletter and get actively involved in this beginning phase, or just want to support us financially. Always welcome. And people can email spartatrails@gmail.com. spartatrails@gmail.com, and we are on Facebook as Alleghany Sparta Trails Association. you have a sticker. I think we're very proud of our little sticker. Put it on your car. I think that's it. If there's any questions for any of us, just-
Well, we thank you for coming in. Go ahead.
Is it just a walking trail? Is bicycles or?
Yeah, I think horse trail is also part of it. We're kind of copying what Elkin is doing, and they have a whole horse trail, and then the loops of the walking trail for some intense biking, you know, up the. So we hope to do the first stretch as a greenway that's more like packed gravel, and then from there would be a hiking trail. But I think we're open even to like trails on the river. You know, trails on the New River. I know Mr. Scott was working on that, so I feel like everything, any kind of outdoors trail system, you know.
Yeah, we certainly want to open that up so that there's opportunities for bikes and riding and hiking and so that we're not still leaving, you know, the people that would want to ride a bike, they still have to go to GALAC. So whatever opportunities we can produce to be able to let all those outdoor activities happen is certainly what we're trying to do.
How far from Veterans Park to the mountains to the sea trail, approximately? Just curious.
7 miles, and completely depends on how much of a snake we have to do.
Uh-huh.
You know, that too, but straight, I think even less. Yeah, I think it's maybe 4 to 6 or something.
And part of this is going to be about easements, about going through private people's property and that sort of thing. And Elkin Valley has a good precedent for that they've shown true respect for the properties and that kind of thing that they go through. And sometimes the homeowner would say, I don't want you coming through, so they'd kick out onto the road, and that would be the road, and then they'd come back, and then within 6 months or a year, that landowner has seen that there's not been any kind of problem, and it's only been successful, so they'll open up an easement for that as well. So we'll have to speak with several homeowners and landowners and that kind of thing, and see what is going to work best for them, and hope that we can get that support.
Yeah, and try
Because
to
it's
stay
not all
on.
going to be packed gravel and that kind of thing. It may be kind of like Mount Cecilia is up on the parkway, where you're just going through a cow field, and it's been walked on enough to where you know where you're supposed to go, but it's not necessarily going to be lined and graveled and fenced and all that kind of thing in some places.
And try to stay, I think, on the edge of everybody's property. You know,
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go like in front or straight through. But that's why they have been incredible with us in Elkin to really guide us through this process and the value that it adds eventually to properties. Yeah.
Do you have other organizations that you work with? And the reason I'm asking that, it hadn't been that long ago Dale Cavaney was here with the idea of trying to reach Bullhead from Highway 21.
Well, that's where we're talking about with the property that Frances Huber gave to the Conservancy. She gave that, and basically Stone Mountain is going to take ownership of that. But there's a piece of property in between the Stone Mountain owned Bullhead and that now whoever owns that property that Frances had, and trying to get what that middle private property either eased through there or in some other way to get that complete.
So would that work with?
It would be a
with
part of
y'all's
this, and that's
plan?
where Gabby was talking about going up to the top of Bullhead, down into the saddle, and turning left would actually, the part of that thought is to come into that area there on 21.
Yeah, we're getting ready to walk that with the Stone Mountain people, because they will actually make it for us. We're not even allowed to do that, but we can kind of walk it with them and say, this would be ideal. So, yeah, we're definitely trying to work together with everybody that's in the
And if Stone Mountain can build the trail, then we're the kind of group that would ultimately maintain that trail for different times and different things as necessary for cleanup and stuff like that as well.
But it takes a long time, so we have to get started.
Yeah. But we don't want to miss out, because we see what that opportunity is with Frances's property going into Bullhead too.
So I was curious if you were in contact with.
We are.
Okay, great.
Anyone else?
We'd love to take you out there and show it to you.
Would we have to walk?
We could drive you out there.
Horseback.
Since they repaved Mahogany Rock Road, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
And as it comes up, that ascent to the intersection is just magnificent, because you have that natural groove that goes up to Bullhead, You have the paved road going up to